Welcome to PatCast, a podcast all about Pat. I'm your host, Patrick Guidi, and today, I'm talking about depression, which is a serious topic, I know. But it's important to me because I've been struggling with it for a long time now, almost a year. And I just want to lend my own perspective on the topic. I'm not going to talk about any statistics about it or anything like that. Just want to talk about my own, ups and downs with it, and hopefully I can relate to someone else out there who's struggling with it, and at least speak to my own experiences with it. So we'll start at the beginning. I began having, problems with my depression when Ryan passed away, and I didn't realize it at the time because I was in shock. I was in such disbelief, and I couldn't fathom the fact that I had lost Ryan. One of my best friends was gone, and that really tore me up inside. I couldn't think right. I couldn't sleep. I didn't want to eat. When I was at St. Mary's, I, came back from my trip to Nevada, seeing him in the hospital, and I just wasn't the same. I went there, one person, and I came back changed. I shut myself off, I shut down completely, didn't want to talk to anybody. I just wanted to lay in bed all day and just forget everything that had happened. And that wasn't, what I needed, but it was the only way I knew how to cope at the time. I didn't have any idea how to deal with it. So I stopped going to class. I literally just sat in my room all day, playing video games, watching Netflix, and just tried to forget. There was a point that I wanted to just forget that Ryan existed. And obviously that wasn't something that I did, because I couldn't forget him. How could I forget him? That's not what I needed, but I thought at least if I could put him out of my mind, that I'd be able to carry on and still go to class and, live my life. But that didn't happen. I proceeded to sit in my room and not talk to people for 2 months, 3 months, till the end of the semester, until I went home. And when I went home for Christmas break, I was excited. I was really excited because I was going to be able to see all my friends. And I was thinking that was going to be really good for me. But I also didn't know how to tell them that I was struggling so much. Even though that, they were struggling too. I just didn't know how to verbalize it. I didn't know how to open up, because that was something that I had never done before. It's something I'd never dealt with. And that was also hard seeing them because I thought that I would be in a better mindset after seeing them. Um, and I was, really excited, and we got to hang out a bunch over Christmas break, and that part was great. That part was great. It took my mind off of some things, um, but not everything, because I couldn't open up to them, even though they were, going through probably the same thing that I was. Um, and after Ryan passed away, the whole Ryan Strong campaign came around, um, and that was awesome. But for me personally, it was just another reminder, that he wasn't there. Um, so really, that was really tough seeing, all the stickers and the wristbands, all the Instagram posts, and that wasn't the way for me to cope with it. But I knew I wasn't gonna, tell anybody, not to do that stuff, because it just didn't make me feel right. That wasn't my place. But uh, but after Christmas break, uh, after my friends left, uh, I just slipped right back into, my fog. Uh, I just became kind of shut down again, and I ended up leaving St. Mary's. I didn't go back for a second semester. I ended up enrolling in DVC, which is a community college back in California. And I was thinking that, I could use that for kind of a fresh start, because I'd messed up so badly at St. Mary's. I just neglected all my work, and didn't finish any of that. And that was fine with me, because I couldn't cope with it at the time. But after my friends had left and I was at DVC, I really wanted to try and get back on track. And so the first week, I really pushed myself to get out of bed and get to class and make sure that I wasn't falling behind. Because I knew that once I fell behind, it would have been over. I wouldn't have the motivation to get back into school. And that's exactly what happened. I had a couple bad days, and one thing led to the next, and I stopped showing up for class again. I didn't want to do my work, didn't want to do projects, nothing. And that sent me down an even worse path than what I was on at St. Mary's, because I started getting into drugs, started smoking weed every day just to alter my state of mind. I thought that would help me at least feel better, and that was a short-term fix. I knew that wasn't something that was actually going to make me feel better, but it helped me get through my days, because I was, high every day, not thinking about how sad I was. But it wasn't until I got here to Texas and really thought about it that that didn't really help me in the long run. That was only a short-term fix. But some of those days were, some of my best. I felt great during some of those days, only because I was with my friends. They really helped me kind of, forget that I was in such a deep depression. But as soon as the high wore off, I was back in it. So I tried to, just stay high all the time because it made me feel better. And that was not the answer. But in the end, I realized that it was really my friends that were making me feel good. Um, because we were joking around, having a good time, playing basketball, whatever we were doing. But I also got into the habit of lying to my parents every day. Whether I wanted to or not, it was almost like an impulse. I couldn't stop lying to them about, what I was doing, where I was going, obviously, because I didn't want them to know. And that just made things worse for me at home because, I eventually, you're going to slip up and forget things and whatever. Uh, so that was a really difficult time because my relationship with them uh, was almost non-existent because all I would do is lie to them. And that was never my intention to hurt them. Mom and Dad, I know you're watching this, and just want to say that I'm sorry. For all the things that I didn't mean to do, but did. Uh, it was just a hard time, and I didn't know how to cope. So for that, I'm really sorry, and I appreciate you guys doing everything for me. And sticking with me, even though I sat at home for months doing nothing. But the days that I was out, not going to class, getting high all the time, they did lend some perspective now to what I was doing. I was able to, in my mind, think a little bit better because I didn't have that fog of Ryan's death in my head all the time. But I actually wasn't getting better because I still wasn't talking to anybody about what I was feeling or what actually was going on with me. And it wasn't until I got here to Texas that I started to open up and realize that was what I really needed was just to talk to people. And my cousin Megan and her husband Adam have been awesome in that respect. They listened to all my rants and all my meltdowns. They put up a lot in the short 3 weeks that I've been here so far. I'm very grateful for that too. Because I just felt so lost. I was stuck. I started seeing a therapist recently, and that's been helpful too. Just another person to open up to, and that can dissect my thoughts a little bit better than I can. And one of the things she told me was that it sounded like I was stuck in October. And that hit me pretty hard because I'd never thought about that. And when she said it, I realized that she was absolutely right. I was stuck in October. I couldn't move past what I was feeling because I didn't know how to, because I hadn't opened up to anyone and verbalized anything that I was thinking, and that it was just balled up inside me, and eventually, I would just burst. And that's one of the things that I've found has helped me the most. And one of the things that is really important when you're going through something like this is just to talk to people. Just to really think about what's going on with you, and just talking to someone. It's whether it's someone who's close to you or a professional, just talking to someone can really improve um, your state of mind. And I highly recommend anybody who feels like they can't talk to anybody to just try and open up to somebody. It doesn't have to be something big. Um, start small. But it's something that I think is a big stepping stone for me, because now I can think about Ryan, and I can think about everything that's happened, and it feels like a huge weight just lifted off. Um, and so, anybody that feels like they can't talk to someone, just if you feel like you can't talk to anybody else, you can open up to me. I have no problem talking to anybody, about what's going on. Uh, I encourage you to reach out to me on social media if you want. I'd be more than happy to talk to anybody. And just know that this isn't something, depression at least isn't something that will last forever. It's not. You can always work through it. And even though you have bad days and you have good days, you just don't want to feel like it looms over you. And talking about it has really helped me. So where I'm going to end with this today is just keep grinding. Every day is its own struggle, and there's beauty in the struggle, I've found, because there's nothing like the feeling of getting out of your funk. You wake up and you have energy again, and you just feel so much better because of it. So anybody that needs to talk or open up, I'm free anytime. Feel free to message me on Twitter or Instagram. I can give you my number and we can talk about whatever you want. I'm very serious about that, because if I can help at least one person try to work past their problems, and that's one person better off for it. That's really what I want this forum to be about. That's why I want this podcast to be. I want to be able to reach people and help them, because I didn't know how to help myself. So thank you all for listening. Thank you for everyone who's been there for me and giving me advice and showing me all the love, because in the end that's what's really helped me, knowing that I've been loved by all my friends and family, and that they're always there for me. And the relationships that we build are really what matters in life, not what you do, not what you own. It's about the people. And so I will leave you with that right there. I'm signing off. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.